Today I'm going to talk about how I powered my Maxxair fan. For my upcoming vacation, since I don't have solar, and I'm going to need power for the Maxxair fan to try and draw out from the cab, I did something a little different. Now, I want to also preface and say that I'm not saying you should do this. I'm not saying you can do this. I'm not saying it's safe. I want to get that right out of the way. I'm just showing you what I did, and this is for entertainment purposes only, so please be aware of that. Alright, so let me turn the camera on to show you what I did. Alright, so here's my Maxxair fan in the cab. The reason I put it here is last year on vacation there was a massive amount of heat being generated in this cab. So this year I want to test this out by seeing if it will draw the heat not only out of here, but if the air is cooler outside, I can open a window at the far end to draw it through, because I found a lot of heat was being transferred from the middle in here. Now, how I powered my Maxxair fan is I went directly into the fuse panel. Now, what I did first is I did not want to have the engine running all the time to get power here. I didn't want the ignition key in. So what I did is I used a tester, and I will show you that as part of the tools I used, to see which of these had constant power without the ignition being on. And I ended up finding this top one on the upper left. It was not being used. So I put a 15 amp fuse into that spot, and I ran power in and behind here. I did, just as a precaution, probably didn't need to, I had an extra fuse set up, so I did put that in line before going up to the Maxxair fan. So there's actually, two fuses going in there. Yeah, yes, I know it's redundant. Now for the ground, I could have run a wire back and gone down into the ground here. I didn't want to extend the wire at this point, so what I did is I already had one item ground to this frame here, so all I really had to do was to run this wire to this ground and get power. The other thing that I did is I wanted an additional switch to turn the power off to the Maxxair fan when I'm not using it, which is why I put this switch in place here. I'll find a way to mount this or build a little box where I'm going to turn this on, and all I got to do is turn it on. Alright, that's running really good. Now I do want to show you something while that's running. The other day I did do, I ran it, I want to say for maybe about half an hour off and on, maybe not on the highest setting, but this is my trickle charger, which keeps my vehicle batteries from running low, especially in the winter when I don't run the vehicle low. Now this green light is telling me that it's charged up and ready to go, and even though I was running the Maxxair fan on the lower setting for about a half an hour, that green light never changed to brown amber charging. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to keep this plugged in. I have shore power, which will go to this. This will keep the battery from running low, so that my Maxxair fan will be drawing the air out of here. Alright, now I'm going to show you the tools that I used to do this whole setup here. Alright, these are the tools I was telling you about. This is the tester that I was using. I hooked this up to the ground, and then I used this to see which circuit had constant power, and what that does is this will light up. Let me see if I can show you while I have this out. I'm going to hook this up to the ground right down here. And then the circuit that's up here, getting constant power, as you can see, that lights up. So that's how I tested to find which one had constant power. Disconnect that. and your basic, to cut the wire. This to strip off the end. That's one tool that you can use. I use this to crimp the connections to make those secure. Alright, so I hope you found this video entertaining. I am not going to list or categorize this as an educational video because it involves wiring the Maxxair fan into my bus, and I am not an electrical professional or certified in any way. If you have any comments, any suggestions, questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share, and check the description below for links that I may not have mentioned in the video. My other hobby is, other than doing the bus build, other than reading science fiction and fantasy, I also like writing. So I have finally gotten several of ideas that I had into manuscript form, and they are now available for either Kindle or paperback purchase. And those are also in the links below.